build a blacksmith shop, you're going to need 4 1x1x6 pillars, 1 2x6 plate, 9 1x2x5 tall bricks, 1 8x16 plate, 1 1x6 arch, 1 1x6 brick, 4 1x6 bricks, 2 1x2 bricks, 1 2x2 2 2x2 plates, 2 1x2 plates with a handle, 2 1x2 plates with clips, 1 2x2 round plate, 1 map tile, 4 1x3 slopes, and 2 6x8 plates. We're going to start by building the back of the stable. Take 2 of the tall bricks and we're going to stick them on facing flat with the back of the plate, 2 studs in from the edge. Then we're going to take 2 of the pillars and we're going to put them next. And then we have a 6 stud gap in the middle we're going to fill with 3 of these tall bricks. Now we're going to work on the sides. Take 2 of the tall bricks and put them along this way. So you've turned the corner, you're 1 stud in from the edge at the end and you're putting 2 of them side by side. And then we're going to do the same at the other end. So that gives us the beginning of our house shape. You know, we have a back wall and 2 side walls, and we're not putting a front on. The stable is open so that people can come in and see what the blacksmith is doing. But none of these are attached to each other. All of them wiggle very easily. So we're going to start building along the top, trying to connect them a little bit. We're going to start with 2 1x4 bricks, 1 on each end and on the top of those last sets of bricks you just stuck down. And then coming around the corner and onto the back, we're going to do 2 1x2 bricks. These are not going to connect anything. They just make that one brick the same height as the pillar that's next to it. And then we're going to take this 1x6 brick and we're going to stick it across the top of these 3 bricks here to hold them together. Now we're going to use our slopey pieces. We're going to stick a slope, starts right at the edge of the back wall and slopes in. So that holds these 2 corner pieces together and makes them much solider. Then in the middle here we're going to take 2 1x4 bricks and stick them side by side. So now the pillars are attached to that central panel, and we're going to stick 2 slopey bricks on the top there. Now these don't connect with the other slopey bricks. Like, you should still see the stud here on top of the first slope, and then the next slope starts above the pillar. Now, although we're not putting a wall at the front, we're going to need supports at the front to help hold the roof up. So this is 2 more pillars, and they are going to be 1 stud in from the original pillars, and they're going to be 4 studs forward. So you're going to count 1 2 3 4, and then the 5th stud is the one that you put this on. So again, you start just in from the pillar that's there already, and you count 1 2 3 4 blank studs, and then the 5th one is where this pillar goes. So now when you look at these pillars, there should be a 4 stud gap between them and a 4 stud gap between them and the back wall. Now you're going to take this 1x6 arch and stick it on top of those 2 pillars, holding them together. And we're going to take the 2x6 flat plate and stick it from the gap in the back of the roof across to the arch. Now we're going to take our 2 1x2 plates with handles, and we're going to stick them in the middle of that 2x6 plate with the handle sticking out to the side. So on either side of them you should see a square with 4 studs still visible. On top of those 2 handles we're going to take this round plate and stick it down, and that's just to hold them together and on very firmly. And then, because this is an interesting blacksmith staple with a history, we are going to hide a map in the roof space before we put the roof on, because it's easier to stick it in now before the roof goes on. Now, for the roof pieces, you're going to take your 2 clippy pieces and clip them on to these handles. And that is what will hold your roof pieces on the slope. Your roof pieces are your 2 big flats. Now, to actually get them to stick down on the handles, we need a piece that goes in between, which is going to be these 2 small flats, the 2x2s. And the easiest way to do this is to stick the 2x2 onto the roof first and then stick that onto the handle. So, this is where the 2x2 ought to be. This is kind of tricky. You want it to be 2 studs in from the edge on all sides. And measuring 2 studs when you're underneath something is hard because you can't see the studs. Do you see? I'm actually using another piece put the right way up in order so I can clearly see that I'm 2 studs in. Do you see? Now you turn it over and you want just one side of this to stick down right here. And generally if you tip this up a little bit and stick it on and then you tip it down and make sure it's firm, you can make it slope like this. So just in case it's hard to understand what I did there in terms of where I stuck the square, I'm going to show you before I stick the square on here. I'm going to stick it on here. This is how the square goes onto the handle. So like 2 of the 2 top studs of the square are going onto the 2 studs of the piece that's on the handle. So again, I'm going to stick that square on to the middle of one end of my roof. It's 2 studs in, 2 studs in, 2 studs in, and then I flip it over, stick it on, and then tip the roof. And if you're having difficulty with getting the roof on, just come back to the Zoom meeting and let me or Alice know and we will help you.